Speaker, I move to recognize the gentleman from Party List Kamanggagawa, Representative Elijah Romboa San Fernando, to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Elijah Romboa San Fernando of Party List Kamanggagawa is hereby recognized for his privileged speech.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, sa mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino, magandang hapon po. Ako po ay tumatayo sa usapin na apektado ang bawat manggagawang Pilipino, ang kalagayan ng social security system sa ating bansa. As a term and concept, social security is a lofty and admirable goal. It posits that the protection of the vulnerable and downtrodden is a collective concern worthy of serious investment by the state and its citizens. Indeed, since their inception, the importance of welfare safety nets has been recognized globally both as a moral and economic imperative. Kung maayos ang takbo ng sistema, ating inaasahan itong seguridad bilang pundasyon ng ating kalayaan. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the American president who signed the Social Security Act into law said, "True individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence." Kinikilala ng sistemang ito ang takbo ng ating buhay. Ang gulong ng palad, ika nga. Minsan, tayo ay nasa itaas, mayroong maayos na trabaho, disente ang pasahod, may ipon, malakas ang katawan. Gayunpaman, hindi maiiwasan ang pagbaba ng ating buhay. Magkakaroon tayo ng sakit. Maaaring maaksidente, maharap sa trahedya, tatanda at manghihina ang ating mga katawan, mamamatay, mauubos ang ating ipon, o hindi kaya mawawalan ng trabaho. Sa ilalim ng prinsipyo ng Social Security, hindi dapat natin kailangang mangamba kapag dumating ang panahong ito. Dahil may Social Security, may inaasahan tayong nakaalalay sa atin, magbibigay ng kapanatagan at pagkakataong makapagpahinga. Masamang pangitain siguro na pagdating sa Pilipino, ang Social Security System ay naging pasiguruhan ng mga naglilingkod sa pribado, na para bang naging insurance company na lang ito. Nawala ang konsepto ng panlipunang kapakanan at pag-aaruga, at hindi sa paninira sa mga insurance company. Pero parang nakopya ng SSS ang mga pinakahindi kanais-nais na katangian ng isang insurance company. Sobrang hirap mag-access ng benepisyo. Pataas ng pataas ang premiums o buwan ng kontribusyon. Halos magmakaawa na ang mga miyembrong contributor nito para lang makakuha ng garampot na serbisyong mga manggagawa rin naman ang nagbabayad. Kaya hindi masisisi ang marami kung wala na ang tiwala ng mga members at contributors sa SSS. Also lost in translation is the principle that Social Security is a public good which requires government protection and investment. This is codified in our law. Section 20 of RA 11199 or the Social Security Act of 2018 states that Congress shall appropriate funds to meet the estimated expenses of the SSS, and from time to time appropriate sums needed to assure the maintenance of its adequate working balance. Despite this, Madam Speaker, the national government has made no significant investment into SSS, expecting the growing financial needs of the program to be primarily shouldered by member contributors. Meron na nga hong kakayahan at mandato ang gobyerno na maglaan ng pondo sa SSS para hindi gaanong tumaas ang kontribusyon at mapalawak pa ang mga serbisyo at benepisyong maiibigay sa mga manggagawa, ngunit hindi ito nagagampanan. This representation is under no illusion that the Philippine social security system is comparable to more robust safety net systems in other countries, like the so-called welfare states. We understand that the norm for analogous models like the US OASDI is to be primarily funded by membership contributions. However, let us not forget that the SSS also has a wider mandate, as it also covers sickness, maternity, and unemployment, which usually enjoy more government investment in other countries. In Thailand, the Social Security Fund works on a tripartite model where the government is a mandatory contributor for areas like retirement and unemployment benefits. More ambitious programs can be found in countries like Brazil, India, and South Africa. This shows that government contributions substantially improve worker security without bankrupting the state. Bilang kinatawan, Madam Speaker, kami po ay regular na nakikipag-usap at nagiging sumbungan ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino. Bunga po ng napakaraming natatanggap na report ang talumpating ito. Napaka-disconnected, halos wala nang saysay sa buhay ng mga manggagawa sa pribadong sektor ang SSS. Hayaan niyo po't magbigay ako ng ilang halimbawa. Kapag ang manggagawa ay naaksidente, mayroon sanang Employees Compensation Program o ECP. Pero Madam Speaker, sa halip na makatulong sa isang manggagawa na hindi makapasok dulot ng aksidente, mas nagiging pasakit pa ang karanasan ng manggagawa dahil sa napakahirap mag-avail ng ECP, dala ng napakaraming requirements at pagsalalay sa kooperasyon ng employer. Ang mga pamilya ng mga manggagawang yumao o sumakabilang buhay ay hirap makatanggap ng death and burial benefits dahil sa napakahigpit na guidelines. Buong buhay ng manggagawa, kinakaltasan siya sa sahod bilang kontribusyon sa SSS, tapos nang dumating ang panahong siya'y na mahinga, ni hindi man lang mapakinabangan ang kanyang pinaghirapan at pinagtrabahuhan. This is backed up by data, Madam Speaker. In a small representative sample, the Commission on Audit has found that the SSS has a deficiency of up to 2.9 million pesos in disbursing funeral benefits, underpaying by up to 30% of what is owed. This is not to mention 209 million pesos of late payments which SSS has not released to contributors. In some cases, up to 18 years overdue. 18 taon, Madam Speaker, na late. Kapag manggagawa ang late na nakapagbayad ng loan o utang, napakabilis at napakabigat ng penalty. Pero kapag SSS ang late magbayad sa mga manggagawa, wala man lang accountability. This is the gap between what is written on paper and lived experience. Sa papel, napakaraming benepisyo at kaginhawaan sana ang kayang ibigay ng SSS. Pero sa katotohanan, nalulunod ang mga manggagawa sa gastusin, sa sandamukal na dokumento at legal fees. Ang security na sana'y inaasahan ay hindi na dumadating dahil sa hirap ng mga requirements at mga proseso. It is no wonder that in the latest report of Anti-Red Tape Authority, numero 1 ang SSS sa most complained GOCCs at a whopping 269 complaints. For context, the second placer, Pag-ibig, only had 134 and GSIS, a third, had 37. But it is a sign of the times that the top 3 performers are also some of the most crucial elements of our social safety net. At hindi pa po dito natatapos ang insulto sa mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino, Madam Speaker. habang hirap na hirap tayong makakuha ng benepisyo sa SSS, ang mga executives naman nito ay nagpapakasasa at napakasasarap ng buhay. Recently, COA flagged 333 million pesos of employee bonuses not backed up by sufficient justification. Hindi na po bagong issue ito, Madam Speaker. In 2022, the salaries of executives doubled while the institution failed to collect 92 billion pesos from employers. Nung nagdaang panahon ng Administrasyong Aquino, pinatay ang 2,000 piso kada buwan na dagdag pensyon sa mga contributor. Tapos, pinagtanggol ang milyon-milyong pisong benepisyo para sa board members nito. Ganito ho ang ginagawa sa pinagsama-samang pera ng mga manggagawa sa pribadong sektor, Madam Speaker. Pinamumutmod sa mga executives at board members habang tayo, ang mga manggagawa, ay halos manikluhod at maglupasay. Makuha lang ang benepisyong galing din naman sa pawis natin. Pinagtrabahuhan naman natin. Pinaghirapan naman natin. Where is social security? Ang tiyak na may security lang ay ang mga opisyal ng SSS. This is the state of affairs of social security in this country. Napakahigpit ng SSS sa mga manggagawa habang ang mga executive nito ay nagpapayaman. Hindi nakukolekta ng maayos ang nararapat na kontribusyon ng employers habang pinagkakait ang benepisyo ng ordinaryong Pilipino. Late at kulang-kulang magbayad ng benepisyo ang SSS habang nagpapataw ito ng late penalties sa karaniwang tao. Matatawag pa bang social security system ang SSS? O stress, singil, at suffering system na ba? Hindi po ito katanggap-tanggap. We at Kamanggagawa Party List believe that social security can and ought to work for the people, the vulnerable and unprotected. This echoed time and again in the chamber and elsewhere. Those who have less in life should have more in law. This representation enjoins the House to consider common sense, pro-people reforms, which would go a long way to make the lives of our constituents better, even within the bounds of the current system. SSS should increase pension payouts and benefits and not provide hefty bonuses to executives while it remains largely dysfunctional. Habaan pa natin ang unemployment insurance dahil madalas ay kulang ang 2 buwan upang makapagsimula muli. Taasan ang monthly salary credit ceiling upang mapadali ang paghiram mula sa kontribusyon at maipataas ang pensyon na natatanggap. Isabatas natin ang regular mandatory actuarial reviews. Moving forward, let us boldly envision how we can make Social Security truly uphold its objectives. Tie minimum pensions to inflation so that workers don't end up losing money to the increasing prices of goods and services. Ang hindi na i-remit na benepisyo ng mga delinkwenteng kumpanya ay dapat ibawas sa mga natatanggap nilang tax refund at funding mula sa government contracts. Let us look toward expanding benefits to gig economy and informal workers who as of now have no reliable safety net. And let us move toward a system that guarantees protection for its citizens no matter their lot in life, no matter how much they can afford to contribute. Let us do this, if not just for workers, but for our ailing economy as well. As the International Trade Union Confederation, or ITUC, reports, and I quote, "Social protection is not only an investment in people, but also an investment in the broader economy. It can trigger a virtuous economic cycle that increases employment, productivity, tax revenue, and overall economic growth, especially in developing countries." Ang ginhawa ng manggagawa ay magpapataas sa kanyang produktibidad at siya ring magpapalago ng ating ekonomiya. Later this week, Madam Speaker, we will file a resolution that seeks to review RA 11199 and interrogate issues that ordinary workers have faced in dealing with the SSS. I hope my distinguished colleagues can join us, workers in this endeavor. Kausapin po natin ang mga mamamayan para makita natin ang tunay na kalagayan ng SSS. This representation also wishes to extend a hand of friendship and collaboration to the workers of SSS, many of whom have entered the agency out of a sense of public service. Let us figure out how to do our jobs to the best we can. Harapin natin ang mga problema ng sistema at gamitin natin ang pagtanggap sa mga kabiguang ito bilang panimula sa panibagong SSS na tunay na makamanggagawa. Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, let me conclude with a quote from the firebrand social justice activist Martin Luther King. Ang tunay na malasakit ay hindi lang pagbibigay ng barya sa nangangailangan. Ito'y pag-unawa na ang lipunang lumilikha ng kahirapan ay kailangang baguhin. Inaanay po ang ating tahanan. Pagtulungan nating ayusin ito upang ang bawat manggagawa ay may proteksyon, dangal at katiyakan sa buhay. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker, at mga kasama ko sa bulwagang ito.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable San Fernando to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Any objection? Hearing none, the speech of the Honorable San Fernando is hereby referred to the Committee on Rules.